All right, now
Okay,
it's
we're on.
officially the most hectic
We're live.
All right.
production. I'm fucking sweating.
Yep.
We have a guy here you don't know.
No.
I shouldn't be.
This is a familiar scenario.
You look like a young Jordan Peterson.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
All right.
I
Not as
hope
wise,
so,
but
dude.
Yeah.
I think I've radicalized him a little bit.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
It's coming, you know.
Yeah.
It's a process.
Told me earlier COVID wasn't real, so I don't know what you guys are talking about.
No, I mean, I have it right now, but who gives a shit?
I have monkeypox.
Oh,
Yeah.
God. Oh, God.
Is that a gay thing? Did they conclude?
They said it's sexual, but I don't know if it's gay.
Mm.
I don't know if you're allowed to call things gay,
Right.
Yeah.
even if they are gay.
I mean, nothing like a homophobic disease.
Yeah, that's a throwback.
You know, like,
Speaking of AIDS.
Right.
I wonder how many comics did that, but let's fucking.
Well,
need to
that's
know.
when the super religious are like, it's God smiting them for laying down with a man.
Which, if you are like a religious simpleton, not that all religious people are, but like, that does make perfect sense.
Sure, in their mind, yeah.
Yeah, you know?
It's a good point.
But then again, I feel like every group has their own shit. Like Jews, I have, what do we have?
Well, every conspiracy,
you.
Yeah.
every the weather.
Multiple bank accounts.
Yeah, you got all the.
But
you
we
can
also,
blame for everything.
there's a lot of like Orthodox communities that like inbreed
That's true.
on accident. So they have to like do DNA tests and
Right.
shit to figure out if they can have kids.
Right.
Damn. There's
Yeah.
a dating app. I think it's in Norway. There's so few people that they have to do a dating app to prove you're not related.
Really?
Yeah, because everybody keeps fucking everybody.
Dude, my girlfriend is taking a solo trip to Norway.
Ooh, she might fuck her brother. She's going out to meet him.
Do you give a fuck if your girl takes like a vacation by herself?
No, I think it's great. I
best,
love
right?
independent women.
Yeah.
I hate that. Like we went to London last week, me and my lady, and I had to shoot some stuff, and she was like, "What do I do all day?" I'm like, "You're in London. Go live, damn it. You're young. You're a fun lady. Go get a pub, get a drink, get a sightsee."
You come back, she's fucking a distant relative.
Yeah, yeah. Some guy with horrible teeth.
So we've got a fucking great guest today. We got Mark Normand, one of the best, one of the absolute
Absolutely,
kings.
Come on.
One of the big dogs. We got an even bigger special guest today as well.
Right.
Everybody meet your new producer.
Oh,
Hey, everybody.
Yeah. His name is Ben.
Yes.
Hey, Ben.
Yes.
You want to tell them, Tim Dillon's got Ben Avery. I've got Ben Slavery here.
Yeah. I mean, hello. I have no experience. I come from the corporate world.
Whoa.
And yeah, I'm here. It's awesome, and hopefully I'll learn as I go. So.
Ugh, I hate how jobby you
Yeah,
made that.
I turn very jobby.
Yeah.
You look like you would help me at Best Buy.
I know. Yeah, corporate world. I was in retail. No, but
there you go.
No, yeah. So
Part of the Freak Squad.
I'm a little nervous. Yeah, freaks one. But we'll warm up.
So Ben's basically, I don't even remember how I found this kid, but I guess he was like showing up to shows and shit. He tried doing stand up. He was doing open mics and stuff.
Yeah, like
All the
that,
best
yeah.
producers are failed comics.
Oh yeah.
So-
you got that right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So he was working a fucking like margin call finance job. He saved up like a shit ton of money and but meanwhile he's getting like an hour's sleep every day. And he's just like, I'm fucking quitting.
Wow, good
Yeah,
for you,
yeah,
man.
Yeah, thank you.
He was like the one guy that quit. Now he wants to do, comedy shit.
Yeah, I know.
But
everybody warned me, but
Yeah.
There's too many of us.
I know. Yeah, but yeah, that's the story.
I don't think he's gonna do stand up.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
good. Then
Yeah.
You're back.
Would
Yeah.
you tell? That's the thing I think about. Like a comic asked me recently. They're like, I'm thinking of moving to New York. He's probably like 3-4 years in, and he was like, do you think I should do it? And I was like, honestly, I don't know that I would do it today. Like,
yeah, good point.
starting over, and also like, I don't think New York is the same way it was when we were. Like,
Definitely.
Well, you started obviously before me, and I'm sure it was like a different scene when I was coming up and doing the mics and shit too. But I have no clue what that world looks like for a new fucking comic. Like,
It's a whole different landscape. I mean, you can be in Idaho and just be a TikTok guy. And Kyle Kinane said it best. He's like, all you need now is an airport.
Yeah.
Before you needed comedy clubs and all this shit. You can just do it from your house, make videos, make YouTube, get a huge following, make a podcast, and that's it.
Do you ever feel like you would leave New York and just pull like a Bargatze and fucking live in Nashville or some shit?
I've thought about it, but I'm a city kid all the way, and like these guys who get big houses out there, out in the fields, and have a farm shit and get guns, I couldn't do it.
Start hiring fucking Navy SEALs and shit.
Yeah, exactly. I need a city. I need a couple clubs. I need a subway. I need to see other people.
Yeah. Do you think that's a part of like why Louis stays so good? Is he just fucking can still do public transit and shit like that?
I think that's part of it. Yeah, I mean, you see a lot of these guys that become zillionaires, and they're so out of touch.
Yeah.
And you watch their act, and you're like, ooh, really? You doing that bit?
Yeah, because it also feels like every special gets worse.
Yes.
Like,
so
and I feel
true.
like rappers have that too. Where like a rapper's first album is usually his fucking best. Like, Nas had Illmatic, Kendrick Lamar had Good Kid, Mad City, like. And then everything just kind of falls off at that point.
Right. I think because in the beginning you have to be good. Like you're a stranger, so they just throw you in front of a group of people. They don't know you, and you got to make these people laugh. Whereas now they kind of know you, and you can phone it in a little.
Right. I also think a big part of it too is like when, like, because I've been doing stand up for, this is going to be my 8th year. And when I think about like, I see every person I know is dropping like a fucking, 3 TikTok clips a week.
Yeah.
They're all fucking garbage, but it's getting numbers. Like,
yes.
These people are getting, tons of fucking followers. And then I'm sitting here with this, material thinking like, do I want to put this out? And then I'm also thinking like, maybe I wait another 2 years, hit the 10-year mark, and then go, now let's make a fucking, not even an hour, let's do a crazy half hour.
Yes. It's all short money. I think you're doing it right. Like this TikTok shit feels good. Like, hey, 1 million views. Come on, you can't deny that. But it's like, how's your act?
Right.
Like how's your live show, And I don't think a lot of people are working on that because that takes time. You got to hone it. It's not as fun. You don't get that dopamine immediately.
Yeah.
So it's. But I think it's good in the moment, but I think you got to play the long game.
I think basically what it comes down to is like, do you give a shit more about the art of comedy or being successful quickly in comedy?
Exactly.
Because if you look at like what I envy so much is a guy like Shane who like waited, put out that special at I think he was like 10 years in.
Yep.
Crushed it, and everybody loved it. He got everybody raving. Like, could you imagine Shane being like a TikTok guy? Like,
no,
it would never work.
I just watched the Carlin doc, and I kept picturing Carlin having to do reels, and you're like, this would never fly. He would be like, fuck that, come see me or don't, And look, he's already in, so it's a different story. I get if you're trying to break in, it's a good way. The internet is good. But everybody just wants that glory. They're like, I'm putting an album out. Come to my party.
Right.
Give me the clicks. Give me the likes. Give me the hooray, congrats. And it's more about that than the actual comedy. Right.
Yeah, that's why, like, I don't know. I really do. I almost feel like nobody should drop a fucking special before 10 years. I almost feel like
I agree.
10 years is like the mark of like, all right, let's see where you're at.
Yeah.
Let's see. And I almost kind of believe, too, if you drop a special and it gets nothing and everybody's like, this kind of sucks. Like, it might be time to pack it in. Like, after 10 years. But watch, somebody's going to clip that and when my fucking...
I know. That's dangerous talk.
Yeah. When my 20 minutes bombs.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, this is what he's got.
Right.
He's got my dad's gay shit at 10 years in.
That's not bad. But it's kind of like a relationship. Like, when you're single... You got to be good looking. You got to be fit. Like, you were a fit guy with a full head of hair. You had gel in your hair when you were single.
Right.
Wow.
What are you talking about?
And now you're in a relationship, and we all kind of get a little complacent.
Yeah.
And it's the same with comedy. People, it's like we said in the beginning. The beginning, you got to kill. And then you're like, hey, I'm kind of famous now. I'm kind of rich.
Yeah.
I'll just phone it in a little bit, and they'll still love me.
And you also got to do check-ins in a relationship.
Yes.
Yeah. Where, like, you ever have that thing where you're like, what have I done boyfriendly in the last 3 months?
I bought flowers yesterday just because it'd been a minute.
Yeah. I'm literally the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, I got to fucking do something this week because I fucked up her Memorial Day. She caught me blowing a troop, but...
Afghani.
But here's my thing. So you're obviously like, everybody fucking loves you, dude.
I don't know. We got haters. Everybody's got haters.
I mean, yeah, but that's the definition of everyone loves you today. You're gonna have some people that think you're fucking Hitler or whatever. But
sure.
Like, I wonder with you, because if your resume, like, if we compare it to Karen Feehan's here, I don't. You got fucking.
Well, I will say, resume now is kind of meaningless. Like, I've done 12 late nights. None of them were dropping the bucket.
Right. But here's the thing: it's not a drop in a bucket, but I'm sure deep down, you're like, I did fucking 12 late.
I did
like,
it for me. Yeah.
You're the king of that medium. Like,
Well, thanks, but it's dying. But yeah, I'll take it. I just wanted to do it. It was fun. I grew up watching it. You know, people are like, "What are you doing that for? It's a waste of time." I'm like, "For you, but I enjoy it."
you're like the dude who sold the most VHSs.
Yeah, exactly.
They're on their way out, but it's like, but this guy, you don't get it. You know? But I wonder, do you ever miss the shittiness of like, because you have new problems now.
Yeah, I do. It's all about selling tickets now.
Yeah. Do you ever miss the fucking, like, because I look back and I think those like first 3 years of like, you remember that feeling of like, I don't even know how to fucking write a joke.
Oh,
and like,
yeah.
There's something like we're never gonna have that youth again, and that fucking like, cause he's been trying to write shit, and I'll see in his jokes where I'm like, I remember not knowing how to like formulate this and the structure.
Oh yeah,
All premises. Yeah.
and it takes so fucking long. But do you ever miss any of the old days of it, or are you just like super stoked where you're at now?
I like this level, but I the old days were good. But you're also looking back with rosy glasses. It's kind of like grabbing a tit. The first time you're like, "This is unbelievable. This is all I'll ever need," and then now I have to have a girl fake cry or whatever, just to get it going.
Right.
But it's the same with comedy. You know, you just now I'm grabbing. You grab your girlfriend's tits. It doesn't even register.
No, yeah, dude, I have to think of her friends.
Yes, same. I think of your girlfriend. But yeah.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I like to ask people if they would fuck my girlfriend just to kind of put them in that thing.
I don't know what she looks like, and I would.
There we go.
Yeah, I'm already in.
I don't mean to brag, but Ben here knocked down quite the heifer.
Yes. Yes, it was. Yeah.
Couple.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And you're a thin dude.
I know. Well, yeah.
You
It
guys
was
made a
it
10.
was a lot of factors that came in. Yeah, it was an experience. So,
right,
but it was a 7 months of nothing, and so it was a good
you
way
had a
to-
drought.
Yeah, very. Yeah.
Well, good for you, man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
They're fun. They're a fun group.
It's good.
Drought turned into a tsunami quick. I love being a fat guy that still fat shames women. It's like,
Yeah, it's like the N word. You can do it.
Right.
You're saying I am a fat woman now? No, I think the reason he did it is because I put him and a couple other friends in a contest. They're terrible with women, so I put them in a challenge to see who could like progress the most with women.
Oh, that's cool.
And it wasn't even just like just sex. It's like, can you walk up to a girl and ask her for her number, like that you're interested in, like that kind of shit that I fucking hate doing that stuff.
Yeah.
But that's why we have a podcast.
There you go. You got to
I'm
tell.
hoping this,
Can you
gets
make a video of this? I mean, that's a show.
Right.
You get these 3 friends with the contest.
It would have been good, but there was no activity until 2 months
Oh.
That's the problem.
in. It was literally nobody got anything. I talked to a girl once. I got a point, and then this happened. That's it. That was it, and I won.
He did more than
I-
that.
Yeah,
He
well.
started chatting up a girl in a bathroom line, right? And then
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
they started talking, and then he left. As he left, he walked past her at her table. He got to the corner of the street, and then he said, I gotta go for it. I gotta go ask her. Turned around.
Good for you.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's a cool dude.
Yeah.
Turned around, killed her, got away with it. That's 3
Right.
points.
They never found the body. Yeah,
This is
yeah,
Brian
it worked
Laundrie,
out.
everybody.
Do you
Yeah.
were you good with chicks before comedy at all?
Not really. I got lucky a few times, and also I was just like a bar nut. So every
Yeah,
now and
yeah.
then you're at a bar long enough, you'll meet a lady, and she'll be drinking, and you'll be drinking, so that helps. But comedy really helped. Like I remember when I was on Tinder for a while, I just put me and Conan on the
Yeah.
Oh my
front
God.
header, and then the
Forget
second
about
page
it.
was me and Fallon, and the third page was me and whoever Corden, and that helped so much. Like. Say what you will about women, but they like status.
Yeah. Oh my God. Are you kidding? Like, but how funny would it be if like every message you get's like, late night's dying.
Luckily, it was 6-7 years ago, so it was still kind of relevant.
Yeah, that's the thing that trips me up about the like when chicks talk about like there's a power dynamic in
Right.
relationships, because like look, if you're working for somebody, yes, that's one thing. Obviously, like
Sure.
don't ask the person under you whose job depends on you if they want to do something, right? Speaking of which, Ben, you're gonna have to blow me after this, but we gotta pay bills.
Second heifer.
Yeah.
So there's that. But the other thing is like if men don't build a power dynamic,
Right.
if I don't get a Ferrari, it's gonna be a lot harder to even get you to look at me.
It's true. It's a sad one of those cruel God jokes. Like women are like, I want a guy who takes charge and a powerful man, but then he can't use his power. It's a slippery slope.
Yeah. Because, I mean, we don't have to fucking say racial slurs here, Mark, but...
Sorry. Stop Asian hate.
Yeah, we were talking about that before, too. Is there another spike? Is that what you're
Asians
saying?
are getting beat up again. There was one where a bunch of, like, a gang of guys just held an Asian like that and just started wailing each one at a time. It was fucking
That was wild.
brutal. It was like out of a movie.
On the subway platform?
Yeah.
But I
was a
saw
pedophile?
on Reddit somebody said he tried to assault a chick.
Oh, is that right?
That's what I heard.
Oh,
Like a
all right,
child.
well, that
Yeah.
changes everything.
Yeah.
Who knows?
But the other thing is, like, you kind of need a court of law.
For
Yeah.
sure. The internet is the new judge and jury.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Ben wrote down some fucking... Ben doesn't know what the fuck he's doing, you know?
No, I don't.
I hate
I mean,
that.
I did
also...
like a thesis. Yeah.
Got some corporate questions?
I hate that his name is Ben so much.
Yeah.
Because, like, the fucking...
I could change it.
And I'm looking more like Tim every day.
Yeah.
So, but no, there's actually some funny shit here. Do you want to try a segment? Do you want to try to fucking pick a topic
What
here?
are you thinking?
Well-
Just a question, or
I mean, Mark, I
News
got to
story?
show you these notes.
Oh,
I
boy.
mean, he wrote, Mark is in a relationship with, and then your girlfriend. He's like,
Oh.
tell us about that.
Oh,
She's
come
fucking-
on.
yeah.
I feel
I mean,
weird
background.
bringing her in. I don't know.
Yeah,
No, of course.
She doesn't want to be on this. Who
Okay.
knows?
Yeah.
scratch that.
But I'm just saying, this is how much this guy sucks. But,
Right.
but my question is, I am curious about this. Ben wrote down about your time on Horace and Pete.
Oh,
I was dying to know.
Good
about that.
question.
Yeah, my favorite show by far.
Really?
Yes.
Well, that's a dark
Yes,
one.
it's
Yeah.
dark, but it's so funny. It's both,
It's
very unique.
He thinks
Pretty
like
underrated.
Wolf of Wall Street sucks. Anything that's
What?
not like a
Don't kill me.
depressing fucking thing, he thinks it's terrible.
Interesting.
I also worked in that, so it's
But yeah,
it's a weird thing. Yeah.
Horace and Pete obviously fucking awesome, and I feel like that show reflected a time in your career. Correct me if-
Yes.
where like it started seeming really real on
Yeah,
for what
exactly.
you were doing.
I mean, just long story short, I was hungover one night at the cellar. This is before all the canceling and stuff. I'm at the cellar. It's like 1 a.m, and it was just me and Louie at the table. This is like Louie,
Yeah,
Emmy-winning, best show on TV, biggest comic, brilliant comedy mind, blah blah blah. And I don't know him at all. We've never met, and we kind of start chatting. And he goes, "How many sets you do tonight?" I was like, this is back when I was a psycho. I was like, "I did 6." He's like, 6 sets? He's like, "Can you give me the emails? I want to do these bar shows and like really get back into it." And I was
Yeah.
like, "Sure." So then the next day he messages me. I'm hungover. Like 2 days later, I'm hungover, and it's a text from him going, "What are you doing right now? Can you come over?" And I'm like, "Holy shit!"
Wow.
Then he jerked off. No,
You got to go for it.
You got to do
Yeah.
it once. It's
But that's that must be the coolest
it was insane,
moment in the world. Like
unbelievable. Just that number, you're like, ah.
if Louis texted me and literally said, "Can you come over? I'm gonna come on your face." I would get the fastest Uber. I'd be canceling 3-minuters. I'd be like, "You got to get here now."
right.
Like just out of respect for the gods, you know?
Exactly. And this is when he was the guy. So like I was like, sure. And I remember being like, oh, I'm so hungover, but I just pushed through. I chugged some coffee, and he happened to live like 5 blocks away. I ran over there. I hit the buzzer. Now I'm at his home, which is insane.
Yeah.
His assistant opens the door, and I look in. It's Edie Falco, Alan Alda, and Steve Buscemi,
love
and
it.
Kurt Metzger, and a couple other people. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, Louis was one thing, but now it's like celebrities. It's Sopranos.
They're all
Mom
standing around
is-
Kurt Metzger like, "We're such huge fans."
yeah. So I go in. He's like, "Hey, come on! I'm writing this thing. I want you to read for a part." And I'm like, "Ah!" So
Right,
now I'm
right.
sitting across from Alan Alda on Louis' like breakfast table, and he's like, "You cocksucking piece of shit!" And I'm like,
Pissant. Right.
"Yeah." And I'm just trying to. I can't act.
Right.
And I'm just trying to hang and not shit myself. So the whole day was insane. And I remember I left there and I just like skipped around the neighborhood for like an hour. Like, oh my God,
Don't
And-
you feel like you almost want to like tell everybody?
Yeah.
You're ordering a coffee and they're like, "How do you want it?" You're like, "Black," just like the actor I was working with.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
That's incredible. Out of your whole career so far, is there a moment that you're like, that was the coolest thing ever, or like that you're most proud of?
Well, the Seinfeld moment was pretty great. I was at Gotham. He shows up, and you're at Gotham. Seinfeld shows up. You're kind of like, well, fuck, there goes my night. He's
Yeah,
gonna do
yeah.
20. Now it's gonna throw off my whole night.
Smells like Jew in here.
Yeah. So then he goes up and he does well, and then he gets off stage, and I go on, and I brought the heat because they all get up to piss. they see Jerry, they're
Right,
done.
right.
You know, I'm a nobody, and so I bring the heat, and I had a good set, and it was a Merrill Lynch benefit, so you had to be clean.
Oh, my Lord.
So I killed with clean material. All the stars aligned. I get off stage, I'm feeling pretty good, and he goes, "Hey, good set," and I go, "I thought he would have left by now. I thought he was back in his Porsche." And he goes, "Hey, good set." I go, "Oh my God, you saw that?" He goes, "Yeah, I'm a fan." And I go, "What?" He goes, "I saw you on the Tonight Show. Let's go hang." And we hung out in the green room for like an hour. I got his phone number. It was amazing.
Yeah.
And again, I skipped around town after that too.
I mean, that's fucking awesome, man. Like,
I'm a nerd.
You
yeah.
mentioned you on I think a baseball broadcast.
Yeah, that
and you
was
said
later
Mark's
on.
my favorite comic now, so
Pretty crazy.
crazy.
And
I
that's
have-
something you can send the parents too,
Right,
which is
right,
nice.
Oh, right. I have here too in the notes that it says you went through a gay phase.
That might have
Is
been-
that true?
Still in it. No, I don't know. I mean, I just say
that's
I'm
not in the
gay
notes.
a lot.
Yeah, that's not in the
But
notes.
that's
No,
funny.
I'm fucking with you. It's
Oh,
not
okay.
there.
Yeah, no, not in the notes.
I'm an
Not in the
open
notes.
coffin. I'll
No,
talk
no,
about
no, no.
anything.
I love the idea of you thinking that's really in there.
I'm like, yeah,
Exactly,
maybe
you
I
know.
did. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
know.
yeah. Crazy.
I'm not against it.
Do you? I was curious about this too, because like you're a huge draw now. You know, you like if somebody puts you on a show, you can sell out their show for them just by being on the lineup.
I don't know about that.
I've seen it happen.
All right.
I've seen it fucking. I see my statements.
Oh, really?
Yeah, dude. Shows that you're on, they pack out.
Wow.
You
shit.
sold out your show with him on
Yeah.
it.
But you had a couple of bangers on that show.
That
too.
was,
a
great
fucking
that was the
hot
best show I've
lineup.
ever seen.
Great show.
Amazing.
That was a hot lineup. Had a hell of a explosion backstage too on that one.
Oh,
you
that's
remember that
right.
shit?
That's right. Little management. problem.
Yeah. That was fun. But do you ever worry about like oversaturating and being like too available, too
Yes.
out there on shows and pods and that kind of shit?
Sam Morrill is very smart and choosy, and I got to be more like that. He just did the Beacon,
Yeah.
and he sold it out. Great for him. Hometown hero. Local boy makes good. But I don't think I could do the Beacon because I blew my wad all over the cellar, all over the stand. I'm at New York every week. So, like,
Right.
I think they'd be like, oh, we saw him. It's cool.
Yeah.
So that's on me.
But do you feel, I mean, like, how does that sit with you? Do you feel like you should be less available and do shit like that? Or do you feel like I'd rather fucking do all
good
these
question.
sets whenever I want?
That's a good question. Maybe I'm just being, what's the word? Immediate gratification. Like, I want to work on this joke now.
Yeah.
So I'll just go up and go to the stand or the cellar. But, yeah, I don't know. It's a good point.
But isn't that the right way to make art where you're like, I need to fucking work on this? Like,
Yes.
I need to get, like, I have this idea. Let's work it out.
Totally. And I did a special in 2020 and then a half hour in 2021. So
Yeah.
I need more material. So I kind of have to. I can do the Beacon will always be there or whatever, the Carnegie, whatever, Beacon, what is
Right.
that, Town Hall. It'll always be there. So I'd rather work on the material.
Yeah. I mean, also, like, what the fuck else are we going to do at night?
Exactly.
Like,
So true.
when you don't do a set, what do you do?
Oh, the bad thoughts creep in. You
Yeah.
start watching the news. You think about your dad. It's all a bummer.
You still got all that? Because I feel like you've been doing therapy for like fucking 10 years now.
I guess I haven't gone in a while because of COVID fucked it up. He wanted to do Zoom, and I was like, I won't do Zoom therapy. It's too stupid.
Will you do a Zoom show?
I did. I don't do them anymore.
Isn't that interesting? Like, you'll do a Zoom show, but not the fucking thing that's going to help you.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Well, the therapy's also expensive.
Oh, for sure. I remember years ago, I was going through it, and I was like 21. I was like losing my mind. I fucking dyed my hair blonde.
Yeah.
Like severe anxiety disorder. And I remember I asked you for your therapist number, and I was like, I need to finally fucking do this. Like, I need to make the plunge. Like, I can't go on like this.
Mm-hmm.
And I texted the guy. I go, hey, I'm available like every evening from 5 o'clock on. And he just goes, I'm not available anytime. That's
Whoa.
I was like, I guess it's time to push this down and just
That's it.
Hey, weirdly enough, I ended up just fucking using the internet a shit ton and figuring my
Really?
brain out a bit. Yeah,
Whoa, that's interesting.
because I figured out what I had. Whereas like, and it was chlamydia, and
Curable.
I'll get you.
yeah, can't hold us down.
Yeah.
No, when I was like severely anxious, like basically what happened, I got way too high smoking pot, and it put me in another galaxy.
Oh,
and
interesting.
For the first time, I had a panic attack, and all of a sudden, like that feeling of anxiety.
Yeah.
I never like. I realized I'd felt it my entire life, entire childhood, but never like process like what the fuck is this? I just thought
Yeah.
it was like fuel, right? So. But I had to literally like learn what anxiety was, how to manage it. Like I was so fucked up. I was like, I don't think I'll be able to walk around anymore. I was ready to like,
Whoa.
yeah. I was like, I think I'm gonna call my parents and tell them I'm like, I feed birds now. Like, that's what I do.
Yeah. So what did you do?
So I spent like basically at one point it was so bad that I would check in with the anxiety every second. Like, yeah, I'd be at the day job while I'd be doing anything. I'd like literally be, are you anxious? Are you anxious? Because the fear was having a fucking panic attack.
Sure.
And then finally, like the first breakthrough for me was when I was like, oh my God, what if I have a panic attack? And then I just said, then you're just going to have one.
That's the breakthrough.
Yeah. And I said, fuck it. You got nothing to do today. You're just going to have one. Immediately, I felt like the ceiling lower.
So true.
And I felt okay. And then another breakthrough for me was from Seinfeld, actually. He had a clip on his show Comedians in Cars that was like life-changing for me. He called Neil Brennan a hack. And
That was big for me. That was fun.
I'm just kidding. He's having coffee with Sarah Jessica Parker.
Oh yeah.
Famous horse. And he says to her, he's like, do you want another cup of coffee? And she goes, no, I could never. She's like, I don't know how you drink so much coffee. I'd have so much anxiety. And he goes, I like the anxiety.
Ooh.
And it was the first time I heard somebody take this thing that I was so afraid of and go, I like it.
That's great.
That's when I realized it was possible. And then what ended up what I had to do though is figure out, like, most of the times when you feel this fucking, oh, my arm is coming off.
It's giving you anxiety.
Panic attacking.
Yeah.
Dude, I couldn't give a fuck about anxiety today. Like,
Good.
but the thing that I had to really, like, what broke it though was I realized, like, most of the thoughts you have in life, they come from, like, basically just neural pathways in your brain from when you were a kid.
Yeah, you can't control.
Yeah.
Whatever,
So as you're a kid, like, anytime you felt fear, like, let's say the thing that scared you as a child, like, your brain writes roadmaps and it goes like, you're feeling fear. So now you're going to go to this feeling in your body, which is anxiety. Then it's going to spiral you into thinking, what happens if this happens? Like, it's all in a roadmap, and your brain likes to follow these maps over and over. So the second,
you're speaking my language. I do this all the time.
Yeah. So the second you feel that, like, initial thing,
yes,
because, like, basically those roads, they're almost like paths that are, like, walked deeper. Your brain goes for that path immediately.
Why?
And it happens
Why does
like
it
this.
go for it?
Because it's just like,
It's just human nature.
it's just that neuron. It's like brain wiring. It's like from a young age, you're literally wiring your brain and your fear responses and all that shit. This is all I learned from fucking Google. This could all
This
be
is good stuff.
But so I literally, like, when my anxiety was so bad that I'd be like sitting on a park bench at like 3 a.m. by my house being like, I can't fucking sleep.
Yep.
Like,
Been there.
yeah, it like shit is so terrible. And I'm like, I need to do something. And then I realized, like, okay, where did fear start for me? Then, like, I thought through my whole childhood. I was like, oh, this thing scared the shit out of me. That created that fear response. And now all my brain is doing is, as soon as I'm feeling that fear, I'm immediately going to the next thing of, like, now I feel unsafe. Now I'm doing that. Once I became, like, aware of that, anytime I felt the initial thing, it was like I didn't give a fuck anymore.
Right.
Because I was like, I know what this is. It's just my brain is used to taking me down this road.
Whoa.
That's all it was. And it's not because the thing is true. It's not because the thing is going to happen. It's just my brain has done that for so long.
Right.
So what the goal is to just, like, rewrite those paths. So, like, dude, anytime I feel like that initial thing now, immediately I can go, I don't give a fuck and, like, mean it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but I think you have to really fucking dig through.
Yes, because you really do give a fuck.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh,
you
for
can
sure.
you can say I don't give a fuck all day, but you do give a fuck. That's why you're thinking about it. That's why it's causing you anxiety.
Right.
So how do you get out of not giving a fuck? Really, that's the hard part for me.
The way that for one thing, like, I started doing Jiu Jitsu and,
That
like,
helps.
dude, like, it's amazing. Like, you ever have, like, hard cardio and then you go
Yeah.
on stage?
No, actually.
You never done that?
I mean, I've done a treadmill a couple hours before a show, but
Yeah.
nothing hard.
Dude, next time get hard and fucking go on stage.
All right.
I notice, like, if I go do jujitsu, if I, like, go train for an hour or, like, 2 hours, when I go on stage, that, you know, that stage, the little dance of,
Yeah.
like, what if I bomb here,
Yep.
like this, that. I don't even process that until I get off, and I go, oh, I didn't even think about that,
Oh, that's nice.
which is fucking crazy. So, like,
Physical exercise is huge for the mental shit.
yeah, it's like half of it. You got to give credit to Rogan on, like, that guy. He works out for, like, the entire day. He's like,
He really does.
he's like shooting a bow and arrow at somebody, like, at fucking 3 p.m. and, like, you don't ever see that guy stressed. You know what
I
mean?
know, and he has the most stressful shit. He's getting attacked all day online. He's a zillionaire or whatever. Everybody hates him. He's the cool guy to hate.
Yeah.
But he's on the fucking mat wrestling a guy, and then he's in the steam room.
Yeah.
And then he's got kettlebells. Yeah, you're right. It's. But I don't want to work out that much. No. It seems like a nightmare.
No, of course. But have you ever done fucking jiu-jitsu, dude?
I did boxing for a while, and I loved it.
You loved it?
Yeah.
Dude, you should try jiu-jitsu, man. I think you'd
I would
really
love
dig
to.
it.
No, that's like grappling?
Yeah, so it's like one thing that's so fucking cool about it is like by the time you're a month in, you feel like you can defend yourself. Like,
Ooh, I like that.
And you feel like you can beat an untrained person.
Sure.
Because like it's really crazy how quickly you progress and like do that shit. But dude, it has been life-changing for me.
Oh,
Like,
man.
yeah. I've gained 40 pounds, but
Well, if you get on top, you're good.
oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
But no, it's been before I had like a thing to do during the day. I'd wake up at fucking 2 p.m. every day.
You got to have structure.
It's the enemy of us, I think, is not having structure.
That's why the pandemic, I mean, I think we all know a lot of people just, they just snapped. Their brain went haywire because it's just indoors, no social, no social activity, no hanging out with people, no chit chat, no bullshit, and then just straight to internet, and it's just news, death, fighting, left versus right, and everybody flipped.
Dude,
Totally.
if you like you remember like that first month where we were like, this thing will kill you?
Yes.
Like that, you're locked in your house. Meanwhile, you got like 2 Mexicans a day coming to deliver your shit.
know.
And you're like, he's dead, so I'll tip him extra.
Exactly. I'm washing off the fucking containers and stuff. It was so stupid.
And then throw in like a light civil war.
Right.
Yeah,
Like-
yeah, right.
Like insane, like racial, like I don't know that we'll ever feel tension like that
Oh,
for the rest
man.
of our lifetimes.
The
Like,
BLM stuff, the riots, it's crazy.
dude, I remember, like it's so crazy to think back, but like I lived next to Union Square.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I would take my bike over and be like, "What the fuck is going on?" Flipped cop cars in the middle of
Yeah.
like busy avenues, like kids all around. It's insane. Like you're seeing a historical moment.
Oh,
like,
yeah. The documentary about 2020 to 2022 is, the Fauci stuff, Trump stuff, the Capitol riot, all that shit. It's going to be bananas.
We're living through one of the fucking craziest times, and now we're in a fucking war with Russia to top it off.
Yes.
Just like nobody like wants to admit it, but like what America's doing is we're just fucking. We're not gonna go invade Russia. Like, why the fuck would we?
No.
So we're just gonna send billions of dollars to Ukraine and go fight them for us, give them
Yeah.
help.
And the sad thing is we got to fight with Russia and Ukraine, and I'm like, finally a breather.
Yeah.
I can relax. That's how bad it got before that on our soil.
Yeah.
When it's on someone else's soil, they're all getting shot in the face.
Yeah.
I saw some clip where an old lady goes up to a Russian soldier and she's like, "Can you put these sunflower seeds in your pocket?" And he's like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "Well, when you die, at least some shit'll grow." And I was like, "Damn,
That's deep.
that like gives you a shiver."
Wow, that's like fucking.
It's like biblically,
Right,
It's like Ukrainian Johnny Appleseed.
yeah, exactly.
That's fucking wild. I'll get you out of here at 2:20. Does that work?
Sure.
Yeah. Ben, what is this first news story here? There's no way this is true.
Let's see. The Glock thing?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's today.
Glock?
Woman, yeah. So she's suing Glock.
Who is?
Some woman that got shot on the subway. Shooting.
Oh, yeah.
For quote reckless disregard for human life. It's kind of ironic. I mean, it's a gun manufacturer.
Because Glocks don't have safeties on them.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, a lot of pistols. You would think if you're gonna buy a gun, it better have a fucking safety.
That's
right?
insane.
But then when you start watching these toothless guys on YouTube, they explain to you. They go, if you're gonna buy a pistol, you want to make sure it doesn't have a fucking safety, because when you need it, that second of fidgeting with the shit, is like could be your life.
Wow.
I bought my mom a gun because she's suicidal, so I'm hoping finally get this thing
Come
done.
on, Mom.
Come
Pull the
on.
trigger.
Any day now. Yeah.
It is crazy how easy it is to buy a fucking gun in this
It
country,
is.
but
And do people really need the assault
No.
stuff? That's
No,
what
no.
blows my mind. Like, I get if you live in Montana, you need a rifle in case a bear attacks your kids or something. But do you need a like an automatic thing? I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Obviously I feel like my gut answer is you do not need a fucking AR-15.
Yeah.
But you don't need a Porsche either.
Well,
No, I'm just. I'm just
I
Interesting way to
mean,
look
Bill
at it.
Burr had a great point, and I'm totally doing his thing. It's Bill Burr's idea, not mine. But he said, it should be like airline pilots. You can get a pilot's license and fly a Cessna around and, land it in a field and high five your buddy and be like, hey, I have a midlife crisis. I can't get it up. Now I'm a pilot. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But to become a Delta pilot to fly 212 people in a giant jumbo Airbus,
right.
you got to work your way up to that. And he's saying the same with a fucking machine gun. You got to work your way up. You can't just get a machine gun. We can't just hand you the Delta keys.
Yeah, that's a great point. But I feel like at the same time, if somebody does get like an automatic rifle and start shooting people, like they really must have wanted it. You know? It's like
that's
a
true.
10-year journey,
That's
like
true.
so much paperwork.
But through that journey, you can do mental tests. You can do brain stuff.
Right.
You know.
I'll tell you this. So my mom, she had like a dude break into her backyard. She lives alone. She's unbearable. And no, love you, Mom. She had a dude break in her backyard as she was in the shower. He took her outdoor furniture, brought it to her window by the shower.
Oh shit!
Climbed up and started looking through, and then like trying to engage with her. Like
what?
Crazy, right? So, and he like came like multiple times into the backyard and all this shit. He would like open her gate and all this shit. As soon as I found this out, I got on the next flight. I flew down there. I went and like I put a whole. That house is like a fucking prison now. I got
Good for you.
every door and window has like sensors and locks. I bought her a pistol that same fucking day.
Wow.
Off an hour of sleep, but like, and the fucking easiest process. But I was very grateful I could do that because I was like, I can now at least give you something to protect yourself. Give you a chance. Should this guy fucking break into your home?
Holy hell. What are we talking engaging here? Like you missed a spot or like what are we doing?
No, she was in her backyard watering like her fucking plants and shit. He hopped over her fence like in plain sight behind her and goes like starts walking up to her and like he starts like trying to talk to her. She's like, you need to leave like now, and he's like just fearless, just like like clearly just not fucking there.
Yeah.
I mean, you hear this about your mom, you gotta
help out.
Yeah, you gotta fly down there and pay the guy. So
that's funny. One time, this guy kept ringing our doorbell, and just my mom would answer the door at like 8 o'clock at night, and it would be like some guy going, "I'm gonna kill you!" Like a deranged guy, and he tried to get in. My mom closed the door, locked it, and she was like, "ah." So this happened like 2 or 3 times.
Wow.
And my mom told my dad, and he's like, "What the fuck? You didn't tell me, Mom?" My mom's a nut. She's like the toughest lady, but so my dad had a family meeting, and he goes, "We're gonna wait every night at 8 o'clock, and when this guy rings the doorbell, we're all going to go out there as a family and beat the shit out of him." And I was like,
Great family
okay.
activity.
And it's a weird thing to hear your dad say, but, you got to do it.
Right.
And he's like, by the time we call the cops, they won't be here, blah, blah. We got to do this ourselves. And I was like,
that's
all
a
right.
terrible thing to tell a kid.
Probably. But I was 16 or whatever, and I'm like, all right, let's do it. I'm a young, strapping kid. I'm ready.
Yeah.
And the doorbell rang. Wow. And then we go, here we go. I'm holding the bat. My dad's got a pipe. My brother's like swinging a chain around. And we answer the door like, ah! And it was a fucking Girl Scout. Oh! And she was like, ah! So we bought like 9,000 Thin Mints, out of guilt.
Oh, that's so
brutal.
funny.
Yeah.
Have you done that on stage?
No, maybe
Dude,
I will.
you gotta do that.
great.
That is so
Interesting.
fucking funny.
Yeah, maybe I will. That's not bad.
Dude, I had a neighbor that was like a fucking old gunnery sergeant, but he was like deranged, and he would like always walk up to me and be like, "I got pictures of you playing in the snow."
Oh my God.
Like the pedophile playbook. He'd be like,
Yeah.
"I got a lot of candy in my house."
Oh, boy.
And I was a fat kid, so I was like, every ass has a price, like how much candy is in there.
Right.
So but I had that same sense of like, I think this guy's gonna break in every fucking day. Like that was what wired the fear in my brain. Was like as a kid.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it was that. I was every night. I was like, I think this guy's gonna break in and kill me.
Wow.
But I can't imagine but my dad's response, by the way, I sat him down. I go, "Hey, this guy keeps asking me if I want candy in his house. I think he's trying to rape me."
Yeah.
And they were like, "Well, tell us if he does."
What?
Yeah, they're because like, what else are you gonna do?
Well,
like,
you can find the guy maybe, or
he lived right on our
Prevent it.
street. I mean, dude, the guy's like 6'5", military fucking strapping, like slams his Bowflex every
Yeah.
fucking day. So like,
But you're gonna wait till it happens to report it? I mean, I feel like you got to get ahead of it.
I mean, that's Russian parenting, you know.
Yeah, I guess so.
Maybe they're. I'm surprised. I mean, honestly, I'm surprised they didn't molest me themselves, just to be like as a practice.
Right. I don't know if I should be here. I forgot you were Russian.
Mark, I know you got to run. You got to go do a big pod, but you are genuinely the fucking best. You've always been the nicest guy.
Oh, come on. I can't take a compliment, but I appreciate it. And
One of the funniest dudes around. You got anything coming up?
I got all kinds of dates. I'm hitting the road hard every weekend. I'm coming to your town, marknormancomedy.com for dates. I got Tuesdays with Stories. We Might Be Drunk. I got my own Patreon I'm doing now, so I'm busy as hell.
What's going on there?
I do my own Patreon where I do a solo pod. I do a video of every weekend, like behind the scenes. You see the green room, the jokes we're working on, heckle shit. A video every week of the different road gig, and I do comedy classes. So you can get on a Zoom. We got like 40 kids in it now, and we do a Zoom, and we each do a bit, and we work it out together, and we get tips and all that shit.
Yeah. Wow, you're like the only dude teaching comedy that's not like a piece of shit hack. Like,
yeah. I mean, you got to pay me, and it's on Zoom, but it's going well, and people are like, I did my first open mic, or I got my first applause break, so like we're kind of coming together as a class.
That's fucking cool, man.
Pretty cool. So come see me, and I'm selling baby formula after the show.
Yeah, I'm subbed to their Patreons at Tuesdays with Stories as well. So show some fucking love.
Thanks.
Support people in this business, especially dudes as dope as Mark. And dude, thank you so much for fucking coming on today, man.
Hey, it's an honor and good to meet you.
Yes,
He didn't do too bad, right?
No, you stayed quiet. That was the move.
I made him do 3 hours of notes for nothing.
All right.
I'll come back and finish those notes if you want. All right.